When Aria turned 20, she felt like her life was just opening. She had moved to San Francisco for college, carrying a suitcase full of books, dreams, and a quiet courage that surprised even her. She loved early mornings, the fogged-up windows of cafes, and the way the city felt like 1,000 stories unfolding all at once. Marcus Reed was 40, as steady as the tide. He owned a small architectural studio and had built a life from patience and persistence. He had loved once, deeply, and lost. Since then, he had learned to live in careful balance work, evening walks, and weekends spent sketching bridges and forgotten streets. They met at a community art exhibit. Aria stood in front of a charcoal sketch of an old pier, studying the lines as if they held a secret. Marcus, the artist, watched from a distance, curious about the intensity in her gaze. When he stepped beside her, she said, "It feels like it remembers something." He smiled. "That pier used to be full of music. My father took me there when I was a kid." She looked at him, surprised. "You drew memory." They began talking about art, cities, and the strange beauty of things that endure. There was no spark that burned too fast. Instead, a calm recognition grew between them, like two voices discovering they shared the same rhythm. They met again by coincidence at the same cafe a week later, then again at a bookshop reading. Each time, the conversation just flowed. Marcus never spoke down to her. Aria never treated him like a relic. They met as equals in their curiosity. But the world is quick to assign roles. Friends asked Aria what she was doing with someone like him. Marcus's colleagues raised eyebrows, whispering about midlife crises. Doubt hovered like a shadow neither of them could fully ignore. One evening, sitting on a hill overlooking the bay, Aria finally spoke what they both feared. "Do you ever wonder if we are just borrowing time from different futures?" Marcus watched the city lights bloom every day. "I worry I'll hold you back from a life that should be wide." She took his hand. "And I worry you think I'm just a phase." Their honesty became their anchor. They chose not to rush. They built their connection slowly through walks, shared meals, and projects. Marcus taught her how to sketch buildings, and Aria introduced him to late-night poetry slams. They learned to understand each other's silences. Love didn't arrive as an act of rebellion. It arrived as a quiet commitment. Aria's parents struggled at first. Her mother told her, "You deserve someone who grows with you." Aria replied, "I am growing, and he walks with me." Marcus also faced his own ghosts, the memories of broken promises, the fear of losing someone again. One night, he told her, "I'm afraid of becoming a chapter you eventually outgrow." She kissed his knuckles, "And I'm afraid of never even trying." The world didn't soften overnight, but something stronger formed between them: trust. They traveled together to small towns and quiet beaches, places where no one knew their ages. They talked about their futures, not timelines, but dreams. Aria imagined graduate school. Marcus imagined expanding his studio, and they imagined each other within those dreams, not as limits, but as companions. When Marcus's firm won a major contract, he hesitated. "It means long hours. I don't want you waiting for me." She just laughed. "I don't wait. I live, and you meet me there." Months later, Aria stood in a crowded lecture hall, presenting her first major research project. Marcus sat in the back row, his heart full. Afterward, she ran into his arms. "I did it." He whispered back, "You always do." Their love became proof not that age didn't matter, but that meaning mattered more. They weren't naive. They knew challenges would return, but they also knew this: love isn't measured in years. It's measured in courage, in listening, and in choosing each other again and again, across generations and toward tomorrow. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe to Heart Talk Stories for more emotional, modern love stories that heal, inspire, and remind you that love has no boundaries.